Welcome, everyone, to today's live stream, episode number 52 of our Baldur's Gate 3 Honor Mode gameplay series. I'm Commander Jorval, and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So, on admin notes, nothing for the game, and we're still all anxiously awaiting patch 8. But on channel admin notes, there's a couple. The first is that the Veilguard, Dragon Age the Veilguard livestream ended last week, and we have moved the Avowed livestream to its place tomorrow afternoon here in the United States from 2 to 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time. That's GMT minus 5 right now. And we'll be picking that up then. So you had an Avowed livestream Wednesday, and you're going to have another one here on Sunday, but then we will not have an Avowed live stream on Wednesday because we've moved it to Sunday. So be aware of the time change that has been posted on the channel description that has a schedule in it. So if you're interested in that stream, make sure you don't miss it, as we have moved it to Sunday afternoons. Also, I put up a poll a couple of weeks ago concerning the resolution of this live stream. Not this week, but next week will definitely be the end of the Baldur's Gate 3 livestream. Now, I put a poll up asking what people wanted me to play, and I deliberately left Baldur's Gate 3 off of that list. I'm not burned out on this game by any stretch of the imagination. I'm still very, very interested in playing this game. I'm still finding stuff that I haven't done, especially in my off-stream Tactician mode playthrough and this Honor mode playthrough. So I'm still really interested in it. I'm gonna have to make a decision about what happens when patch 8 comes out. I do not think patch 8 is going to come out until after this live stream is done. What might happen is, if it comes out right as this one ends, I will do one last parting live stream, kind of just to showcase some builds, some gear combinations, and that sort of stuff for the new subclasses and things like that. It's really going to depend on the timing. I don't do a lot of edited videos, and that's simply because it takes me a lot of time to do it. I'm simply not all that great at it. So doing short form videos just takes a lot of time, which I just don't have a lot of free time, because I have 50-hour-a-week job as well. So maybe I will spend some late nights editing videos to put up some short form videos talking about the subclasses. I don't know. I'll just have to wait and see. I don't want to leave patch 8 hanging. I honestly expected it to be out already, but crossplay is quite obviously the holdup here, and is taking a lot longer for Larian to get figured out. I don't want them to mess things up with that, so I'm not upset that they're delaying it, but it has thrown a kink in my streaming plans as far as this live stream goes. So the poll that went up, it looks like right now that Kingdom Come Deliverance is holding a lead over Divinity Original Sin. I had put this Divinity Original Sin in the poll last time, and it missed out in favor of people wanting me to play the Honor mode live stream here. So I think if this poll stays the same, I'm definitely going to start Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, and we'll play that. And then when the Avowed live stream ends, I will pick up a Divinity Original Sin 1 playthrough as well. So we'll kind of wait and see how this plays out. I don't want to start another Wednesday live stream. I want to take a break from that for a bit. It's really hard to do it during the week, and it gets really low viewership because it's late at night for my overseas viewers and that sort of stuff. So there are some things in flux here, but we'll wait on the outcome of the poll, and we'll see how things go moving forward. So I think that's it on the admin note. So on our recap, last week's episode was nerve-wracking. It was stress-inducing for me because I've been dreading the Raphael fight for a very, very long time. However, it ended up working out really quite well. We ended up saving your gear. We ended up saving Corilla as well, and we got a very favorable outcome out of it. So I'm happy with the way it turned out. Today we are going to jump into the final preparations for the final quest line and getting to the point of no return. But before we do that, we have another encounter to do, and that is with Orin. Now, I left Orin till the end for a particular reason in this one, in that it is extraordinarily anticlimactic. And you will see that when we get into it. So let's go ahead and jump in here. Hey, Rudi, welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Okay, so here we are exactly where we left off last week. We've looted Raphael here, and at the end of last week we were able to pick up a few things, and I did want to do a couple of things here before we get started. So for my paladin, or for my bard here, I mean, one, we're gonna send the lightning jabber back to Karlach. We don't need this. Okay, and now as far as my gear goes, I want to change this back to my normal setup here. Okay, so we need the wondrous gloves, but I'm going to sacrifice a bit of armor class here. So right now I've got radiant damage. It's got cold damage from the Drake Throat Glaive. It's going to have psychic damage that I'm dealing. I can add in a 1d6 fire damage by sacrificing one armor class here from the Wondrous Gloves. It's going to lose me one Bardic Inspiration as well. I don't think that's going to be a big deal for me moving forward, but if it is, I'm definitely going to keep these in my inventory as we move forward. So I put the Helldusk helmet here. All of these are correct. She has the Amulet of Greater Health. That's going to up her armor class to 23 because her armor class is based on Constitution for unarmored defense. For the monk, unarmored defense is based upon Wisdom. So there is a helmet I want to change out here. The Horns of the Berserker. Okay, it doesn't look like I have it here in my inventory. Let me look at something real fast. Sorry, I'm looking something up. Okay, that's what I thought it was. Okay. Alright, so here, there's nothing much left for us to do in here. Again, we can loot all of these cambions and that sort of stuff and pick up some more items that we can sell. I don't think that we necessarily need a lot of money now or a lot of gold at this point, so we're not going to do any of that.
Breathe deep and
I
move.
do believe that we have looted everything throughout the House of Hope here, so we're going to head back to the Devil's Fee.
So you wormed your way into the Devil's Lair, risked mind, limb, and freedom, all to steal the Orphic Hammer. I hope your ambitions end there. I have already told you that the Githyanki Prince only wants to see you dead. But it seems you still do not trust me. That is not my definition of trust. You are falling into the same trap as the Chosen. Their distrust of one another is their undoing. We must not make the same mistake. We must work together. I'm disappointed to hear that. Nonetheless, our fates are bound. And in the absence of a happier union, I will accept a useful one. You may think yourself ingenious for having slain a devil, but you have merely ironed out a wrinkle. The Elder Brain will not be such an easy foe. It is time we resume our journey to find it.
Okay, and there's definitely something that we
How do people do this?
want to look at here, so
Let's be quick.
we're gonna lockpick a couple of chests up here. Okay, some crafting ingredients, not really important. Ale. Barely passed. And then here is where we really want to be. Because there's a gilded chest.
That might be worth a look.
There's also these loose planks over here, but I'm not as much worried about those. Because this gilded chest has the Mask of Soul Perception. And this is what Astarion is now going to wear. This is going to complete the Soulbound set for him. So, Seeking Blood in the Horns of the Berserker gains us a +2 bonus to attack rolls against creatures that have already taken damage. The Mask of Soul Perception just gives me a flat +2 bonus to attack rolls against everybody. Also gives me a +2 to initiative rolls and a perception checks. The Detect Thoughts is meh. I'm giving up the 2 necrotic damage as well. I don't think that's a big deal to lose that. And it's also going to make sure that I keep my full health. So I'm definitely going to pick that up, and that's going to be a change that we are going to make for him. And now, like I say, he's got the complete soul set, the complete soulbound set, soul perception, soul rejuvenation, and soul catching. So this is the final iteration of Astarion, so to speak, and I'm going to mix up a couple of things here real quick. Okay.
Still in control.
Oh,
Just.
and the loose planks has a letter here letting you kind of in on what you talked about earlier that we learned as the Dark Urge, that he was involved in talking to Helsik to get into Mephistopheles' vault.
I've got a long road ahead.
Okay, so now with my bard, I'm going, before I head downstairs, I need to shapeshift my bard. The reason for this is we're going to have a check down here. That we're going to need to make.
Let's see.
And that's because if you remember last time, we stole the gauntlets of Hill Giant Strength. She wants those, and we need to talk to her about those.
Trips to the Hells are usually one way, especially when the traveler causes the kind of trouble you did. I knew you were a thief, didn't realize you were a killer. Raphael's death is already causing quite a stir across the Hells. It's a rare thing for a mortal to slay a devil of his stature. In all the excitement, I hope you didn't forget our bargain. Do you have the gauntlets?
And here's our first check, and it's a deception check. Now, we no longer have access to favorable beginnings because we've used that with her already. However, the DC here isn't all that bad.
That invalidates our deal, I'm afraid. I fulfilled my part of the bargain, so you owe me the fee I proposed initially.
Okay, and we have an intimidation check here that we can make, and we have proficiency and expertise in intimidation.
Not a subtle point, but well made. Keep the gauntlets. Your threats aren't necessary, but your coin is still welcome, Devil Slayer.
Okay, and that's going to complete that quest line. So your gear is now joined us. We learned that last time, and now that we have the Orphic Hammer, we need to go free Orpheus, and that's what all of these three are about. We completed the deal with the devil. Maybe now that this quest is complete, this quest will quit respawning, and we did save Hope. So we have a few things that we need to do. Open Your Scars is still here. We're going to learn more about that here in a little bit when we deal with Orin. So let's go ahead and talk to Helsik again, and I no longer need this. Oh, he's got to wait for this weird pause.
Welcome back, Devil Slayer. What can I do for
Okay,
you?
so as far as all this stuff goes, I'm just going to pick it up just for reasons.
Now you've seen what I...
Okay, so now we need to get ready for Orin.
Wanna dance?
And
I wonder what the
for
next
that,
move is.
we're not going to need hardly anything. So I am actually going to go straight over to the Bhaal temple, and we will get ready for this encounter. I do want to go to camp first, though, because I want to make sure that
Time
I
to
have
press ahead.
talked to
I have something to
Volo.
ask.
Whatever happens next, be sure that I will document it all.
Okay. So, I think I'm gonna see. I'm looking through this to see if there's a quest indicator for it or not. Hey, Fighter, welcome to the stream. Yeah, it has been a while, but I'm glad to see you. Thanks for being here. I'm looking to see if there's any indication. Okay, there's not. I don't think. Okay, I'm just gonna have to hope that I read it. When you bring Volo back after you rescued him over by the docks, he will give you a book called Regarding the Slayer. You should read it if you're Dark Urge and you're planning to play the way that I have. It gets you an additional power while you are in the Slayer form. It gets you an additional action. If you haven't read it, it's not a game changer or anything, but it does, if it lands, it is a game changer. It's just incredibly hard to land. So I'm just going to assume that I have read it, and if that action shows up while I'm in this encounter, then you'll definitely see it. So I'm going to now head to the Temple of Bhaal.
Moving ahead. Seems like a good moment to talk.
Please go in, my liege, and take care to watch your step.
Okay, so we shouldn't need any buffs. Like I say, you're gonna be quite surprised about how this goes.
Very well.
So, in here in the Bhaal Temple, you can search these skeletons and these things that are around here. You can get some more lore, and then down here in the middle, you can just barely see Orin is here, and there is Lae'zel, who's been kidnapped for a while. Before you go down there, though, whichever way you want to play this encounter out, I would recommend that you head over here first. If you don't remember, Fist Orin was the fist that we met in Rivington. She was, this was the first encounter we had where Orin was disguised. He was back in the back by the warehouse. This is his actual body. That's how Orin impersonates her people when she shapeshifts, is she kidnaps them and then is able to impersonate them. This key actually works in the storehouse over in Rivington. You don't need it, it's not, you can lockpick your way in it, but all of these bodies are now in here, so to speak. It's a stack of scrolls. You can read through all of this. This is just updating because Lae'zel is now down here. We're, like I say, just not going to go that way. Not yet. Because where we're going to go is through here. And I'm going to bring everybody in here. I'm going to put everybody in hiding.
If everyone else minds their business,
I'm going to break my
I'll be
group.
fine.
And just take
Another
myself
step forward.
down here. And you get into the Chosen's room.
Oh, below. This could be my old chamber.
Okay, now in here is Kror, and there's an experiment here. Okay. So, and this is actually your journal about what you've done here. And you actually killed Kror here. Now I don't know if I can speak with the Dead on Kror.
The corpse does it.
No. Okay, there's a wooden chest over there, but you can lockpick it. I'm gonna use the key here. Okay, and there are some potions in here. And this is her journal. And you learn some pretty disturbing things that we're going to find out here in a little bit as well. Through a cutscene. And you can see that we can cast Speak with the Dead on Orin's mother.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Orin, my daughter. I tried to kill her, but she killed me first. I wanted to be Bhaal's chosen. Saravok told me she must be my offering. I was close, my hand around her throat. I failed. No, she worshipped him, loved him. So did I. Baldur's Gate, Brampton District. Helena Anchev, daughter of Saravok, mother of Orin.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Okay, so sorry, I'm looking at something real quick here as well before I go into this. Okay, so we learned that Saravok actually set this whole thing up, and maybe we can use that knowledge to our advantage here. So now if you're doing this normal way and you're not dealing with the Dark Urge, then setting characters up here with Fly is a really good option. You're able to throw items and shoot from up here, and your spells have a long range of coverage over this. Having a character up here onto this isolated area here is also nice. It means that enemies have to jump to get to you, which uses a bonus action for them. So getting into these more inaccessible areas where you have a height advantage is a really good idea if you're doing this. For me, though, I'm not going to need any of that. And that's because I'm playing as the Dark Urge, and that's going to open up some special options here for this encounter. Specifically, because I'm the Dark Urge, Orin is going to want to fight me one-on-one in a duel. That means I'm not going to have to fight all of her minions that are out here. everybody, they're not going to do anything during this fight. Second thing is because of the way I've played this out, and because of the things we've learned about Orin's mother here, I have an opportunity to, and because I have embraced the Slayer form, I have an opportunity here to severely handicap Orin in this fight. So I'm gonna drop a save here, and we're gonna head down.
Your savior approaches, scuttling in without the tyrant's rock. You are a mangled bloodbrain, thinking father could be refused. I know what you did. Spilled my grandfather's crimson. He was mine. He showed me the way. To slice and slit. He guides my dagger still. Did it think it could protect? Did it think it could save? Only the blades can offer salvation.
Okay, so here is this option here about your mother. Now I think this might have gone wrong because I must not have Gortash's stone in my inventory. We're gonna see how this plays out, but if it doesn't, then we'll kind of go in and reset this. I don't like the fact that she mentioned that I don't have Gortash's stone, even though we've killed Gortash.
No. 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 He didn't. He didn't. Filthy, pig-mouthed little liar! You think I hurt from such meaningless vapors? Do you forget what I did to you?
How you screamed as my knife slit your skull. Your brain juices, sticky and sweet. A little hole, big enough for the worm. Your body a blood sack to feed it. The favorite of Bhaal turned meat puppet, strung up by the sinews and plucked by my hands.
This is the truth you had forgotten. You were the favorite, the chosen. Orin was your subordinate. You led the cultists of Bhaal and orchestrated the absolute plot. It was your genius, your cruelty, your design. At your moment of greatest triumph, when all the pieces were in place, she betrayed you, infected you, and took your place.
Husk, maggot, a Bhaal spawn, sliding in filth with these pigs. You don't deserve the Murder Lord's blessing.
So here's the option that we want. Okay. This is going to immediately end all this conversation, and it's going to drop us into combat with Orin. Now, choosing this option is special. Normally, calling on the Slayer is a one-time per long rest thing. Here, if you use this option to change into the Slayer form, then if Orin manages to do enough damage to us to knock us out of Slayer form, we can call on the Slayer form again. This does not remove the action that we would normally use from our hotbar to become the Slayer.
changeling stands no chance, fiendish one. Eviscerate her.
Okay, and now you can see this is a one-on-one fight. Okay, between Orin and I. And Orin does not have any of the unstoppable turns that come from Bhaal during this normal fight. Okay, she is on her own during this. Now, she is an okay opponent. She does have legendary resistance against incapacitation, so if she ever gets stunned or something like that, she's immediately going to come out of it next turn, and she's got a +10 to resisting it. Her real legendary action is Murderous Retort, so she can immediately strike back at her attacker whenever I land damage. If Deathbringer's Legacy is active, she uses Deathbringer's Assault instead. Now, Deathbringer's Legacy is when she stacks up enough stacks of Murderous Strikes here, after attacking 5 times, she is going to get Deathbringer Assault. And you can see that that's a lot. Okay, so after she hits me 5 times, she can unleash Deathbringer Assault here and can do a lot of damage with that. So this is kind of one of those you want to take her out as soon as you can things, and it is unfortunate that she rolled in front of me on initiative, but it is what it is. I do not want to give her a chance to land another strike here if I can avoid it. Normally what you do is you roll in front of her and you can use your Relentless Lunge to jump towards her and possibly knock her prone. It's a strength save for her, which she has a decent check against, but it works quite a bit of the time, because that opens up some very interesting options for you as the Slayer. And I have read... no, I did not read it, because it would be right in here. If I had read that, there is a growl. If you read the book from Volo, and I must have sold it somewhere, so it's sitting in somebody's inventory somewhere. If you read the book, it unleashes or gives you an action that possibly stuns targets and dazes them. I can do that with Let the Slaughter Begin instead with 1 action, and then my extra attack I could possibly use multi-attack. And this is, you need to look at the synergies here. If you could knock them prone, then Slay, if the target is bleeding and prone, the attack will be a critical hit and the target will possibly become stricken with Flesh Rot. So if you can leap at her with your bonus action and knock her down, then if you use Let the Slaughter Begin, or I guess then she's prone, so if you use a multi-attack, or no, where is it? Oh yeah, this doesn't do bleed. It's Sumptuous Bloodbath that does bleeding. You can attack with Sumptuous Bloodbath on this turn and hopefully cause her to start bleeding, and then on your next turn you can use Slay, and that's going to be a crit and possibly inflict her with Stricken with Rod. There's another synergy here though, and that is if you use Let the Slaughter Begin, then she can possibly become dazed, and then your multi-attack, the attack will be a critical hit if she's dazed. Okay, if you inflicted bleeding, then the multi-attack's going to do an additional 7 slashing damage per hit. So there are synergies here in your attacks. Now, I'll say that the chances of these landing are pretty low. Okay, so like Let the Slaughter Begin has an 18% chance of landing. Okay, Sumptuous Bloodbath, however, is a normal attack, but still you see only a 40% chance to hit. So your chances to hit are pretty low with some of these synergizing abilities. What it's better to do is try and leap at her, try and knock her prone, and then slay. If the target is prone, the attack will be a crit. Okay. Now, like I say, I don't like the fact that she got to go first here, because now I think if I lunge... Oh no, I can do it here and not provoke attack of opportunity. Okay, so she saved against it, and she hit me again. That's the bad part of that. So let's try... I still would like to try and land Sumptuous Bloodbath here. Okay, so she did start bleeding, so that landed, which is good, which means now that if she's bleeding multi-attack, she's going to take 7 additional slashing damage per hit. Okay, and now I can use Slay. Okay, and she saved against the component of Slay there. So now I'll end my turn.
Pretender, we'll watch you die.
Okay, so now her Murderous Retort is going to hit really, really hard. And it's probably going to drop me out of Slayer form here. So what I would like to do is to try and jump again and see if I can knock her prone. If she goes prone, then she doesn't use it as a response. Yep, she saved again. Okay. So it's unfortunate that she saved both times against that. But let's go ahead and get my, because your Slayer form's a bonus action. So let's go ahead and get a defensive flourish here. Okay, and let's see if we can daze her with a concussive smash. Because now she's dazed and she's bleeding. So she is dazed and she's bleeding. So if I change into Slayer form, and now Slay is going to be a crit. And she's going to become stricken with Flesh Rot. And I've got a whole bunch of new hit points back.
endorsed. You are the chosen one. He is near. He comes for you.
Child of slaughter, I come to give you your inheritance. I have a gift for you, child. You will use it to lacerate this world.
A gift from your god, your father, an offering of his affection for you, or confirmation that he owns you.
My slayer, you will grow stronger, crueler, the prime incarnation of murder. Domination, slaughter, mountains of corpses. You standing atop them. You must destroy this world. It is what you were made for.
For a moment, the brine pool of your brain clears. To die, to rest, to save the world from yourself. To accept, to become his prophet. In any disobedience subject to his lash.
Okay, so here's your choice. Now, this choice is actually very impactful. You just don't realize it as much here while you're making it. So, if you become Bhaal's chosen, a few things are going to happen. First, you're going to get a new spell. That spell is actually in tabletop. It is a level 9 spell in tabletop called Power Word Kill. It's the same spell that if we hadn't have worked around it, would have been inflicted on us by the invisible guardian as we were trying to cross into the Bhaal temple here. That spell is a one-time cast, one use only per adventure spell, and it will kill any enemy that has fewer than 100 hit points. That's not necessarily how it works in tabletop, but that's how it works here to Chosen to try and balance it so they can't use it like on the Nether Brain or something. But it will allow you to straight up kill one enemy with no saving throw that has less than 100 hit points. So can be very useful, especially in the final fights that are coming up. You're also going to gain a buff during the final set of fights called a Most Bloody Inheritance. Now, this is extraordinarily powerful when it is used in the final fights. Every one of your companions gets it, not just you, during the final fight. And that means that everybody can cast Stunning Gaze. You can cast it as a bonus action, which is incredibly powerful, to be able to stun an enemy and then get critical hits against them or advantage on the attacks against them. But then the much more important part of that is that everybody will gain a -2 to the requirement to get a critical hit. Now that buff gains you an additional 10% chance of critting on every attack that you make during the final fight, and that's huge. Especially with Karlach, who's sitting at a 17 right now. I think without even trying, really, that would get her down to a 15, so she'd be critting almost a third of the time. It's especially if you've gone the Gloomstalker Assassin path for building your main character out or building Astarion out, that can get his critical hit chance down to a 13. A 13. And that means you're critting on like 40% of your hits. So it's an incredible buff. However, the downsides. The downsides are pretty big from a role-playing perspective and somewhat from an impact perspective. Meaning that as soon as you try and leave here, Jaheira and Minsk are both going to be waiting for you outside, and they are both going to be hostile. You cannot talk them down. They fought against Bhaal's Chosen with Saravak in the previous games, and they are not about to let another Bhaal's Chosen run rampant across the world. So they appear with a group of Harpers to try and stop you. And that means that you lose the ability to call upon the Harpers during the final fight. Okay, it also means that Jaheira and Minsk are both dead. Now, they're not important characters for me in the playthrough. From a role-playing perspective, that would be really sad for me to see. But if you're just interested in getting the most power, so to speak, or most help out of this for the final fight, it's probably best to become Bhaal's Chosen here. It also is going to open up an achievement for you. During the during the epilogue, you being Bhaal's Chosen opens up an opportunity for you to dominate the brain and take control of it and use that to slay the world. And taking that option gets you an achievement. It's the only way to get that achievement. So if you're 100%ing this game as far as achievement goes, then you have to choose this here. I chose that in my tactician mode off-stream playthrough, so I'm not going to do it here. I'm going to show the other option here and choose my own path.
You refuse me. You are my spawn. Your veins course with my unholy blood. Your life is mine. Accept your inheritance, or I will reclaim it.
Okay, so one final choice here. The other thing I forgot to mention that happens is if you're a paladin, becoming Bhaal's Chosen will break your oath. And you'll either have to pay to get it back, or you'll have to stay as an Oathbreaker.
You were made to conquer, to devour. You reject my blood, and so I will reclaim it. I will make another who is worthy.
For the first time in over a century, silence falls over the Bhaal temple. No chants, no screams, no prayers. In the end, your own death brought you more joy than any you wrought on this land. You are slipping into peaceful oblivion. But your journey is not over.
Thou hast defied Bhaal, thy liege,
and father, and in doing so hast earned a place among champions and heroes. But alas, thy courage was in opposition to the divine cosmology that bound thee to the Lord of Murder. Thou art now faithless, godless, and doomed to wander the fugue plane for eternity. I will not permit that, though all the powers of life and death dictate that it should be so. I too still hold some power, and I invest a portion of it in thee, who hath challenged the gods and now liveth to tell of it. Thy fight is not over, and it is thy fight. For one who can look upon Bhaal and oppose him can survive any crisis. So rise, challenger of gods, and prepare for battle once more. Death will not claim thee whilst I endure. A scribe, a seneschal, a keeper of records, and now thine advocate, both here and in the city of the dead. The sole way to atone for thine actions is to do better in a new dawn. That dawn has come. Bhaal tried to extinguish thee, but his wrath is imprecise. He only succeeded in killing the part of thee he knew. The urge that drove thee to terrible acts, the spark of brutality that made thee his. But there is a new part of you that hath grown during thy travels. That part Bhaal could not extinguish, and so, instead of destroying thee, he hath made thee anew. The heart of a savior hath overshadowed the mind of a murderer. Thou hast vanquished thine urge. I share thine enthusiasm, in mine own manner. Today thou art born anew. Greet the bloodless dawn, child of none. Thy path is clear. You must save Baldur's Gate. As it was, so it is again. A hero has risen from a legacy of death.
Okay, and that is the rejection of Bhaal ending to the Dark Urge questline. Okay, so we've escaped this here. We've rescued Orin's victim, and we're about to get Orin's Netherstone. Sceleratus Fell is dead. You can collect his hat again, if you would like. We already have one. And then Orin's pile is here. Okay, and we're going to pick up a few things here. The altar key we are not going to need. I believe she's already gone. The Crimson Mischief is here. This weapon deals an additional 1d4 poison damage, piercing damage against targets with 50% of their hit points or fewer. When it's in the main hand, you get Red Vein Savagery. When you make an attack with advantage, the target takes an additional 7 piercing damage. So you can see how it's it can be really powerful for that Gloomstalker assassin build that's almost always attacking with advantage. The Netherstone Pommeled Bloodthirst. The number you need to roll a critical hit when attacking is reduced by 1. This effect can stack. When you're wielding this one, creatures hit with this weapon receive vulnerability to piercing damage. When you wield this in your offhand and you get True Strike Riposte, this is probably the worst way to use Bloodthirst. Put it in your main, unless, however, you have the Ballast Armor, which gives vulnerability to piercing damage to everybody around you. So if you don't have that, then you're wielding it in the main hand, and you use your first action as a bonus action to strike offhanded with this before you strike main hand with anything else to inflict piercing damage. So this is, if you have that though, putting this in your offhand means that when a creature misses you with a melee attack, you may retaliate immediately after with a strike without using your reaction. This uses a riposte, and then you gain True Strike against that enemy, which means you're always going to be attacking with advantage against that target, which again means that if you're wielding Crimson Mischief, you're going to do an additional 7 piercing damage. So these two synergize really well as long as you have the Ballast Armor to go along with it. The Mutilated Carapace is you gain +1 to attack and damage while shapeshifted. Meh. But you have advantage on deception checks and persuasion checks, and you get armor class +1. It can be useful for certain builds, not for something that I'm going to be really dealing with.
You are born anew, cured of all distraction. Good. Orin's Netherstone is in our grasp. And now we must look ahead to the other, Gortash. Find him and take his Netherstone.
Okay, and we received Orin's Netherstone out of that, and Bloodthirst now no longer has the Netherstone Pommeled Bloodthirst. It is now just Bloodthirst. Okay. So now we are finished with these, and you can see the Ballists are just standing around. Nobody is hostile or anything like that. We are free to walk out of that, but let's talk to Lae'zel first.
I live once more. The Dreadlord's plaything no longer. To camp. I will not let my guard slip again. I swear by Mother Git's Scion.
Okay, and she's going to take off and go walk to camp. She's actually just going to walk down here and then disappear. But we can't fast travel out of here, so we need to walk our way out. And here is where you will find the Harpers, Jaheira, and Minsk if you have chosen the Dark Urge path. Now, you will be joined in combat by a couple of Ballists, but nobody in here goes hostile, which is bad, because I tried to lead the enemies down here to get into fights with all the rest of the Ballists, especially the ones that have Unstoppable, and it didn't work. They just stay there and don't go hostile. So you're going to be fighting them, really just yourself and a couple of allies.
At this point, nobody can control rain, and it knows it. We must seize the third stone before it breaks free.
So why don't... So there's Kethric's. Where's Gortash's? Did I not pick his stone up off his body or something? Did I really do that? Did I really not do that?
Should mind my step.
Well, I guess we have to go see. I might not have. I was wondering why it said that, because I didn't think it mattered if his netherstone was in my inventory or not. I can't believe I didn't pick it up. If that's what happens, that would be incredibly strange. Yeah, I've killed Gortash. Yeah, see, the Steel Watcher are all dead. Or did I not kill Gortash? It's a great question, Rudi.
I don't mind it. Honestly.
Well, I do. Which means we're getting a real...
Did I do all of this and not kill Did I not kill Gortash after I came back from disabling the Steel Watch? You guys might get 2 boss fights today. Let's
You're absolutely sure?
that would be incredibly funny.
I bet it was the cult. Just like the coward.
We do, however, need to reapply something for Karlach. I gotta say, that's gonna be pretty funny if I went through all of this. Because I've even got notes here on killing him. And I just didn't do it. Oh. Hate that.
What's the story?
Where am I? What's going on?
Well, only way to know is to go check. So, who didn't bother to come down?
What now?
Wretched thing, pull yourself together. How much farther can I go?
So we'll make our way back up there and see. That's pretty funny, Rudi, that I didn't kill him. Wonder why. Well, interesting. Jeez, I get really tired of the pathing in this game, right?
Oh, yeah.
No one stopped me yet. If not over, then through.
I did not kill Gortash. That's incredible. Alright. Well, I guess we won't get as far into things as I expected today, because I have to get to something I thought I'd already done a long time ago. But I guess on the bright side of this, you get to see another boss fight today. Another fairly underwhelming one. Okay, so for this, I'm going to do a couple of things. So, the first is that we're going to get Karlach up on the high ground over here.
What's cooking?
Yeah, and we're going to get Shadowheart with her. Okay, everybody probably has a volatile shield available to them.
Calm and quiet, that's the way.
Except for me.
I've got this.
Keep your blade close.
Okay, Astarion is going to move around the back over here.
Like a wraith.
Time for bitter business.
And yes, I do have it because of the short rest. Okay, and now we're going to head in here. Now remember, we had prepared this place, so all of the traps are dead. Okay? But there are enemies that have reappeared here. Or not reappeared. He has new allies that he has gained. And I don't know if I can hit it. I can't hit it from there. I might be able to hit it. No, I can't hit it from up there either. So let's go ahead and just toss some Eldritch Blasts at him and see if we can trigger combat. So looking at Gortash here, he's got legendary resistance. Other than that, really nothing else. His power derives from the traps that are in this room and that sort of stuff. Now, he does have something else that we will see here in a little bit, but it's really not that difficult of a fight. So we're gonna, if we hit him and I'm in stealth, I'm immediately gonna follow it up again. Okay, that was bad. Okay, so he rolled before me, again, unexpected. I'm getting some horrific initiative rolls here. But I made a saving throw against his Dazzling Ray, which is good. Don't know if we have a description of Dazzling Ray. We don't. It's from his crossbow. But it's good that we saved on that. And because we did, he's now burning for 3 turns with Hellfire. So I'm going to drop X on him. He's severely drained on charisma, but he has really high charisma. So it's not something I'm really worried about. Now I'm gonna make my way out of here. I'm gonna drag him with me and I'm gonna get around the corner out of sight.
You chose to suffer. You chose to die.
Okay, so now he's got something called Reflecto Guard. So Reflecto Guard is any projectile fired at this character is sent back to where it came from. Now, I don't know if that applies to Eldritch Blast or not. To be honest, I think it's just ranged attacks, but I don't really know. So this might be a decent opportunity for me to test it. Okay, so I can hit, so let's turn on Repelling Blast. So it did come back. So it counts that as a projectile. That's interesting. I don't think it probably really should be doing that, but it did. Oh, and I can actually travel out through the window. Oh, the door's broken. Okay. So let's just get back here around the corner again. The Aura of Terror I'm not worried about because with Thoroughly Stuffed buff, I can't be frightened. So it makes them a lot less dangerous.
From your ashes, Baldur's Gate will be reborn.
Okay. So now that I'm here, where are they at? Right here. And Reflecto Guard is now gone. Okay, that hit all of them. And now I'm gonna fly out here around the corner again. We want them to be as bunched up as we can get them.
Not take this city.
Okay. So now let's see
unseen
what we can do here. So we got them in a really nice little line here. Not close enough up there to be able to do it. Okay.
You're making me
well,
sweat.
let's hold off and let's have Karlach do her thing first then.
Hey, good looking.
Okay, so we're gonna throw Nyrolna right here. Why is it interrupted? Oh, she needs to stand back a little ways, that's right.
handy.
Okay. So did some good damage there.
Whatever comes, I'm ready.
I can get everybody with Ice Storm right here. Let's up that. I prefer to do Call Lightning instead at level 6. But I'm gonna have to get closer for that. Or do I want to throw down a darkness and fight that way?
I won't give in.
I think I might throw down a darkness instead.
The mission has to come first.
So where can I reach it? Okay, and now I'm going to move
Another fight. Let's go.
into here. Pick up Nyrola, we'll give that back to Karlach. And let's get a slashing flourish out here. Ooh. So this is on the Black Gauntlet. They're almost dead. I'm not gonna paralyze you crit that when I can kill them this way. And I'll get another one this way. Now let's bring a Starian into this.
Stay low.
So I'm pretty sure I can make this one-on-one here. Pretty quickly. So I don't think I can kill the Black Gauntlet here. I can definitely kill the Iron Console. What would I have to roll? I'd have to roll really, really high on Flurry of Blows here. So let's get a Key Resonating Punch here. See if we can kill the Iron Console. Okay, and I'm gonna stay here. Hopefully Gortash will come after me. Okay, so he hit me with it, but Psionic Backlash broke concentration on Spirit Guardians. Which is nice. Ooh, he saved quite a bit on that.
Can you feel death's cold grip?
Okay, so let's drop him. And let's get a key resonating punch here as well. Okay, now we're gonna move out here.
Quickly.
Okay, he turned into his avatar of tyranny, which is perfectly fine. I don't really care about it. And that's because he's now stunned. And conveniently, I believe this avatar, I thought it made him large in size. I think it does, I just don't think it registers that way. So let's get Shadowheart to drop.
I'm ready.
The darkness.
Put him up.
She rolls before Gortash. Was just a tiny bit short. Yep, she'd have to move up to there to throw it. So he's just a tiny bit outside of my range. That's a bummer. I guess we'll just come down here and throw it. Get the damage.
Ought to do it.
Could try and daze him. But I think I'm just better off keep throwing at him. Okay, so that got rid of all of his temporary hit points.
Nothing will stand in my way.
So now I will go to work on him. He's prone. Could try and daze him too. Yeah, now he's really stacked up. And Astarion shouldn't have any problem finishing him off.
Excellent.
Okay. So yeah, that was kind of crazy that I hadn't killed him.
You seek Gortash. His soul is already suffering at my hands. That is the fate of all those who fail me. I am Bane, the Black Lord. I am the ultimate tyrant. I am fear. I am hate. And you are the dagger that bled Merkel's favored. You are the thorns that prick at my sides. Yet you are proof that still I will rise, and Bhaal and Merkel will yield. One question asked, 4 still remain. You live for power. You have proven it with every fallen foe, every chest opened, every skill claimed. As long as mortals and immortals vie for sharper blades and louder voices, I am strengthened. So it is for Bhaal and Merkel, and so it is for you. You make me eternal.
The corpse says nothing more. You did not ask a question.
Why do red dragons ally with the Githyanki? Why did the broken god befriend Tyr? Ah, but you already know the answer. By making one ally, you deny them to another. And by turning mortals illicit, you deny their souls to their keepers. You do not stoke fear by reaping your own fields, but by burning your foes. You have already laid the foundation. You gained my favor when you slayed Gortash. Your need for power exceeds even his. Use the Netherstones to commandeer the brain and unleash your infected army. And I will count you among my chosen. Or do not. Your lust for victory still brings you one step closer to me.
Okay, so searching Gortash.
So Gortash is nothing more than a pile of flesh? Same as the rest of us. I feel like there should be a sunset for me to ride off into. Or an orchestral swell, or something. But there's nothing, is there? I killed the bastard who ruined my life, and my prize is that I get to crawl into a corner and die. Am I fucking missing something? I can't do it anymore. 10 years, man! It's enough! It's enough. He's dead. And he's no fucking sorrier now than he was before. What was the point? I'm still dying. I'm dying. I'm going to die. Don't say that. Say you found some way to fix me. That now Gortash is dead, I'll get my heart back. My heart. It was mine. And they took it. I'm going to be as dead as Gortash any day now. any moment. And what then? Off to the City of Judgment to waste into oblivion? Into the dirt to get eaten by maggots? Is that it for me? Is that fucking all? And you'll just keep going, won't you? Watching the stars, warming your hands on the campfire, dancing, eating, making fucking love all night. All of it, all of it! That's my reward for everything I suffered. That's why I survived 10 years of torment. The fighting, the clawing, the loneliness, the fucking loneliness. All of it so I could rot. Because the person I trusted the most gave me away to the devil. It isn't fair. I don't want it like this. You could try. You got a wish spell in that pack of yours. What the fuck am I supposed to do now? Let's get out of here. I've always hated this place. Stupid fucking gigantic bridge or whatever. I think I need to go to camp for a while. Be alone. Scream at the sky. You can come and find me later if you want to. Thanks for listening. For existing. Love you.
Okay, so Karlach's obviously upset. She's going to leave our party and she's going to head back to camp on her own. So if we search Gortash, he has the Netherstone studded gauntlet. So if we pick that up, it's going to start the cutscene. Tyrannical jackboots, +1 bonus to charisma checks and saving throws. Not that big a deal. Gortash's key is open up stuff that we've already lockpicked in the back. He has the fabricated arbalest, and this is what he shot me with to start with Dazzling Ray. It blinds all creatures in his path. It's like Sunbeam is what it is. It's a little lower damage version of Sunbeam, but that's what it is. But the difference is that until the spell ends, you can recast it. Casting it again may possibly burn you each time you recast it. It's a really interesting weapon to use, but not something that I'm going to be doing. And then the Cloth of Authority. You can't be frightened, it cannot be affected with other emotion-altering conditions. Now, it's important to realize that this, it will not let you frenzy or rage. Okay, so if you put this on a barbarian to gain advantage on intimidation checks and +1 to your armor class, you can't rage anymore because of it. And that's the other things it gives you is authority and the armor class +1. So now let's pick up the gauntlet, which once the Netherstone is pulled out of it, the gauntlet's going to give your unarmed attacks an additional 1d4 force damage and a +1 bonus to spell save DC, as well as the command spell, which is actually really good.
The last stone. I need to see it for myself. There it is. So innocent, but such potential. You have done very well indeed.
The Netherstones pulse with psionic energy, permeating you, pulling you in line with their rhythm. The thrum quickens, rising, cresting on a single feeling. A location.
As I expected, the docks under the city must lead to a Morphic pool. That's where the Chosen imprisoned the brain. With the stones in hand and the chosen dead, we stand as good a chance as we ever will. As to how good a chance that is, I cannot say. But I have hope. When we reach the pool, we will find the brain, and we will end this. In death, thraldom, or freedom. But a word of caution. Once we cross into the Elder Brain's domain, there will be no turning back. Finish your business here before you proceed. The brain will be waiting for us.
Okay, and that's going to get us the Gauntlet of the Tyrant, which is just the same thing, just without the stone in it. So let's send some stuff off to camp. So there's our final nether stone. Okay, we picked up Gortash's hand. We're way past needing that, though. So now there's a bunch of stuff on the iron consoles and the black gauntlets here. Especially plate armor, if you're interested in getting more money out of it. This is definitely a place to collect it. We can fast travel from here. And, well, let's look at our quest. So now we're up to confronting the nether brain, and I guess we've gotten his nether stone, so that's now complete. The Hellions heart has been completed. And we've got Orin's nether stone down here. So, I believe that's it. Yep. So now we need to do our final preparations for heading into the final battle. And a couple of things that we need to do here is we definitely need to go back to Heapside Strand. I don't care that Karlach's not in our party right now. I believe I've done this encounter too. There's an encounter here which, again, now my memory's completely failing, obviously. Maybe I didn't do it. And we'll get into a fight in here, but I think we already did this one.
From bones free, no more slave.
We're gonna get into a fight here.
Liberators, saviors, pawns, youths, fools, released, usefulness ended, targeted, killed, death unavoidable.
Okay, so here, the next time that we fast travel in town, I think, we're going to spawn some mind flayers. But I want to go in here.
Let's see what this does.
There's a quest marker here. Yeah, and I've already completed this. There's a quest marker here, but that's just because we are down in the sewers where you need to go to meet the brain. So we picked up a contract.
Ready to do some business? Give me that! Can't have this floating around loose. I thought I was meant to be the thief.
Now, don't tell Mole that you killed Raphael.
A pact is just another deal. He can call himself patron, but Big Raph doesn't own me. He's just giving me the tools to take what I want. As for what that is, well, you didn't think I planned to stop at running the Fetcher's brats, did you? I knew you'd understand. Everyone's owned by somebody. Might as well sign up to be on the winning team.
Yeah, don't tell her this. There's an option here.
I wouldn't miss it for the world. Baldur's Gate is home now, and the brats are my family. Nobody messes with my family.
And now Mole is going to agree to help us in the final fight. Okay, so we're going to be getting a buff from her. So we've got a pretty good list here of stuff that we've brought in. Okay, so now at this point, if I look around, I need to go talk to Kithrak Voss. I can do that by going out the back door here. Actually, it's probably quicker just to go to the city sewers. I can go just for narrative purposes. Go back to camp, pick up Lae'zel.
Maybe it will bring us closer.
It is not in a Githyanki's nature to say thank you. Our language doesn't even have a phrase for it. Kraith Khan Jan is the closest equivalent I know. May your enemies know agony. But after releasing me from Orin's grip, there is only one proper response. Thank you. Sincerely. You acted most rationally. So acknowledged. Well, good then. Let's carry on.
Okay, we're gonna talk to her again.
Inconceivable that we would seek release from one tadpole only for you to commune with another. I'd chide you if my mind were not consumed by the sight of Orpheus within his domed prison. The Prince of the Comet lives, but make no mistake. I can see the change in you, feel the parasite worming its way through you even further. You have invited your own misery. I will not break our alliance for it, but I will not condone it. Yes, the hammer is ours! The means to Orpheus's release is in our hands. To the Undercity, Voss must hear of our victory. When we next enter the Astral Prism, we will break Orpheus free. You have vanquished the Slayer, as I knew you would. You are strong. You are mighty. You are you. It is done.
Okay, so we're going to bring Lae'zel into our party here. We're going to be coming back to camp, but we'll talk to Karlach.
Hey, soldier. You're back. Old habits. Did I miss anything while I was off having a sulk? Nothing out of the ordinary then. You know, soldier, we're so fucked. The Dark Three are trying to consume the Sword Coast. We've still got tadpoles in our eyes, and I've got a ticking time bomb in my chest. I'm not sure anyone has ever been more fucked than this. And yet, we're fine. In this moment, we're fine. Here I am. There you are. Breathing, talking, even laughing if we want. Is it very precious to say that, despite it all, I'm happy? In that case, there's something I wanted to ask you. Will you stay with me when it's time for me to go? I think I can do anything if you're there. Even die. Thank you. Now, enough tragedy. I'm not gone yet, and our schedule is packed with important heroics, isn't it? Plus, if I cry any more, I'm gonna run out of tears and start leaking motor oil. Thanks for everything, soldier. I'm extremely glad to be in this thing together.
Okay, so let's head back. Let's just leave camp with Lae'zel now.
Yes, the hammer is ours. The means to Orpheus's release is in our hands. To the Undercity, Voss must hear of our victory. When we next enter the astral...
Already seen this. So we'll head here around the corner. And there's two people here. One of them we should know. That's Kudenos. Now, Kudenos is a very interesting character. Look at the strength, look at the constitution, look at the hit points. You can also see under the description at the top that Kudenos is a dragon, a level 17 dragon, just in dragonborn form right now. This is Kithrak Voss's red dragon, just disguised in his dragonborn form down here. But we can talk. You actually can get into a fight here if you want. It's an interesting fight. It's actually not all that difficult, but you don't get anything for it except you lose an ally. So I'm going to talk to Kudenos here.
You've come closer. Tell me what you see.
Now there's going to be a passive check here, or an insight check. The DC 15, my chances of passing this are really small, but... what do you know?
His voice carries the weight of untold centuries, and his ridges are scarred with uncounted battles. This is no dragonborn. This is a red dragon.
It is so. Call me Kudenos, Master of Flames, Splitter of Skies. I will be the one to carry Voss into battle against Vlaakith, and I will be the one to breathe the flames that melt her. More than I could count. We were pacted by the archdevil Tiamat, and forced to serve the Githyanki. It is to the people that I'm loyal, not to the Lich Vlaakith, a corpse in Gith clothing. I know Orpheus, just as I knew his mother. A new future will be planted in the wake of the comet. Until we meet again, mortal. I look forward to fighting alongside you. Vlaakith will tremble at the sound of our roar. Lae'zel and her allies, can they be trusted?
Kithrak Voss, may the astral sea be still as you cross it.
And may your mind be of steel, so your blade may be of silver, Talak-Magir. Have you retrieved the Orphic hammer? Will our prince's chains finally be broken? The Prince of the Comet is not dead. The Prince of the Comet will come again. The Prince of the Comet will liberate us from the Lich Queen's tyranny. The prophecy is one step closer to fruition.
Gith's son will soon ride against Vlaakith, Voss, and I will follow him into battle.
And you will wield the greatest gift Mother Gith ever granted her dauntless children.
A silver sword. I will carry it for the honor of Gith, the great liberator, and her unforgotten son.
Istik, now that you have the hammer, you must find a way to enter the astral prism. Once inside, smash Orpheus's bonds. His cry will shake the plains, and I will fly to your aid. The Prince of the Comet will sear the heavens again. First we'll defeat the Absolute, then we let the Lich Queen tremble.
Think again. I will not permit your entry. No, there is not. When I am done with the Gith Princeling, you may do with him as you like, but not a moment before.
Questions, Istik? You seem to be lost in thought. Yes, but you will meet this challenge, as you've met so many others. The Prince of the Comet aches for Githyanki liberation more than he abhors Geich. He might seethe when you free him. He might gnash his teeth and slander your name. But he will see reason. I promise you. Istik, friend to Orpheus. Together we will end the Elder Brain which shakes this city. Then I turn my sights to Vlaakith, the Queen of Deceit.
Okay, and that's going to update a couple of things. So it's going to complete Help Kithrak Voss, and it's going to update the Githyanki Warrior here. Okay, so looking at all the rest, these two won't complete until later. This one won't complete until the epilogue. The Urge is going to complete here in a little bit, and Free Orpheus as well. So now we're going to head back to camp, and we've now done everything here. There's a little area up here that we haven't explored, but we don't need to explore any of this. There's nothing back there for us to really go look at. So I think that's it. So we're gonna head to camp. See if there are any last conversations to do. And there should be.
Hard to believe she is dead, after all that she did to me. I do not often doubt myself. But surviving Orin took courage and strength I was not sure I had. I could not have faced her without you. You are trying to raise my spirits. I appreciate it, but any joy the sight of Orin's corpse brings me is but a speck of comforting shade. There is little relief to be found from the heat of the storm we are caught in. While the brain is still free, and we are still infected, we will never be safe. But we can talk of this later. For now, let us be glad that we still draw breath, and that Orin does not.
Welcome, Star. Hey, good to see you again. Thank you for being here. So there are some camp conversations that we can have here, and we will start getting ready for the point of no return here.
Always good to talk, my friend. I'm so glad to hear it. If I had a bottle of dragon dew, I'd open it in your honor.
You wish to consult me? One part of it. A smaller part than I had hoped. You know me well. Orin could make herself a mirror to anyone she met. A perfect physical replica, down to the slightest blemish or imperfection. It was only the surface that she imitated, though. The skin and the muscle and the bone. Peel back the surface, and her madness lay beneath. She could not hide that, no matter what form she took. No matter how perfect the surface imitation, few would see themselves reflected in Orin's madness, in her soul. I did see myself there. A broken version of myself, but recognizable nonetheless. And of course, you saw yourself there too. She was your sister, after all, bound to you by Bhaal's blood. Oh, but I am. Given what we learned of her mother, I see how similar we truly are. We were both born of trauma, both raised by parents who protected us with one hand and tormented us with the other. What was I when you first knew me? Before you ever knew me? A mad woman, butchering prey in the name of a god who would discard me without a thought once I was no longer of use. Bhaal, Lolth, the absolute. They do not have followers. They only have victims, and they reward devotion with death. It is only because of you that I did not meet the same fate as Orin, lost to madness and blood. If you had killed me when we first met, I would have been just one more casualty of your crusade against the Absolute, and nobody would remember me.
Okay, so let's make the rounds here.
Congratulations are in order. I fancied myself the sage advisor, sworn to guide you through what it means to be a child of Bhaal. And while I mulled on that solemn responsibility, you went and took care of it on your own. Well done. Truly. The path of a Bhaal spawn is not an easy one, nor does it ever truly end. But you found your footing where so many before you have fallen. Wherever you lead from now, we will follow. I believe you have an appointment with a nether brain. Lead then. Nature's servant awaits.
Another Bhaal spawn buried by our hand. Bhaal should learn better than to send his offspring against us. They might as well be babes, dropped bare bottom into the Rashiman winter.
Okay, so for Shadowheart.
May the darkness protect you. Good. I knew you had what it took to quieten your demons. I'd hate to have lost the real you.
Hey, Halson.
When I first met you, saving yourself from ceremorphosis was your greatest wish. And yet now, you've stepped closer to embracing it. I trust your leadership and respect your decisions, but I truly hope this is not something we come to regret. And a hard-won freedom at that. Well done.
Okay, so Lae'zel's probably about talked out.
Voss stands at the ready. All that remains is to return to the astral prism and break Orpheus free. How we get in remains to be seen.
Hey, Karlach.
What's on your mind? Ugh, thank the gods it's over, I say. My last trip to the Hells ever. No such thing as a home in the Hells. If Hope's happy, good for her. But mark my words, some devil or other will push in and claim the place sooner or later. Stick around in Avernus long enough, and you'll run out of hope entirely. No, soldier. I'd rather live out my days in the world I love than live forever in a world I hate. I don't know much, but I do know that.
Gale?
Go ahead. I'm listening. Nothing like ridding oneself of a god's unwanted influence to lighten the load on your shoulders. I wasn't sure if we'd lose you to that darkness entirely. I'm glad to know you found your way back to us. I regret many things in my life. Choosing to be here, intact and unexploded, is not one of them. For now, to have a few more days in your company, no. I wouldn't change a thing.
And Astarion is last.
Well done again on besting Bhaal and all that. It was very twee. Especially the part where that poor excuse for a skeleton waved his magic wand and made it all better. Yes, you were so very scary. I knew you had that sweet heart all along. I was alarmed by you sometimes, scandalized even. But somehow, by your side, I still only ever saw you.
Okay, now before we take our long rest, there's one more thing we want to do, and for that we want to bring Karlach back in.
Soldier. You know I'm up for it, but your party's...
And that's we want to fast travel to Baldur's Gate. And as soon as we do, we're going to get into a combat here. Like I said, whenever you fast travel back into the city again for the next time, you're going to be ambushed by 3 Mind Flayers. You're going to have some help from some Fist that are around your location. Okay, but we should be able to handle these on our own. So we have 2 Mind Flayers down this way. We're going to cunning action dash.
The brain. It's here. Stay away from the gate.
Okay, good. So you don't want to, you want to be able to take both of them out with Astarion if you can.
What now?
Because now we've got only one more here. And that one, that. Now the Mind Flayers aren't going to have anything on them, but that encounter is guaranteed to happen, so I want to do that before I take my long rest, so I don't have to worry about it the next time I come out here. Okay, so now we're going to go take our long rest. And it looks like all of our debtors' attire clothing is now gone. It should have left our other clothing in our inventories. It did. Okay, so let's go check around, see if there are any more conversation icons. I don't think there are. So
Have to keep going.
we're going to go through our inventories now. Okay, so And there is something that we want to do with Lae'zel as well. There should be a pack in here that has all of Lae'zel's stuff in it. We want to put all this stuff back in Lae'zel's inventory. And that's so that she has the Githyanki egg in her inventory. Okay, and then for the rest of it here, a couple of more. Some arrows for Astarion. For Shadowheart. Okay, so now I'm going to start emptying out my inventory of everything that I do not want to take with me. We got 2 of his hats. The Helm of Arcane Acuity. I want to keep. Band of the Mystic Scoundrel, I don't. Crypt Lord. And we're going to clear everything out of here. I'm going to keep the Risky Ring. I'm going to keep the Brain Drain Gloves and the Boots of Brilliance and the Wondrous Gloves. Amulet of Branding. Broodmother's Revenge, I'm going to put back on, but I'm going to keep the Surgeon's Subjugation Amulet. Okay, so don't need this. I don't think the tadpole weighs very much, it doesn't. Okay, and I don't need the bell. Everything else I can sell. Don't know why I have 2 key rings in here. Somebody probably needs that. And the ritual pouch I can sell.
No time to dally.
So Shadowheart, she's going to get the Amulet of the Devout. That gives her 1 additional charge of Channel Divinity to use, which she can use for her Divine Strikes. There's regarding the Slayer. So I didn't look in our inventories. This is the book you have to read. Before you go into the fight with Orin. But that's already passed. So we're going to get rid of the Spine Shudder Amulet, keep the Drakethorpe Glaive, get rid of the Blood of Lathander, and the Dark Justiciar Helm. Both of those we're going to sell. The Gauntlets. This is going to go to Karlach. The Justiciar's Great Shield we don't need. Ring of Twilight. We will keep those. Amulet of Misty Step we'll keep, and the Spellcrux Amulet we'll keep.
Keep a blade close.
Okay, so for Astarion, was it Shadowheart that didn't have keys? No. It's Karlach that doesn't have keys. Doesn't really matter, but we'll send it off. All of this. Goes in there. All of this here. It's to Shadowheart. Don't need any of this. We're going to sell the studded leather. We'll keep the invisibility ring just in case. Well, no, we won't. We'll keep the smuggler's ring. We're going to keep the gloves of thievery. There's a reason for that. Okay. I think all the rest of this, we're going to keep the periapt of wound healing. And the silver pendant. These two we don't need. And we're going to keep the flash blinder, the alchemist fires, the haste spore grenades, and the iron flask.
Come on, let's go.
And now Karlach. So we want to have some throwable items here, so I'm going to keep the returning pike. I'm going to get rid of the bone spike helmet. Definitely need the mask of the shapeshifter. Shapeshifter's boon. Don't need crater flesh. Yeah, we're going to keep the gloves of uninhibited Kashigo. We'll see when we get in there how resistant things are to slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning if we need to change off of that. Because she's going to be normally equipped with the gauntlets of Hill Giant Strength. Okay, that brings her strength up to a 23. It's going to be higher than that, though, a little bit later on. And you'll kind of see that.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Okay, so let's take our long rest here.
Better not be cursed.
Okay, we're going to get buffed up, but we're not going to use all of our buffs, and you'll see what I mean here in a minute.
This vessel is at thy disposal.
But the vessel only stared.
This...
Okay, so we're going to get Shadowheart to come back over here.
Have to keep pushing.
Best be on my way.
Zenith will cast Hero's Feast. And then we'll bring Karlach back in.
First in my heart.
Hey, soldier.
Looks like your troops all trooped up.
Okay, so for some of this...
That should work.
My faith will guide me.
Okay, now we are not going to change over and use this Drake Throat Glaive yet, and there's a specific reason for that that I will explain a little bit later. Okay, now Astarion is going to take an elixir of Cloud Giant Strength, but let's see how many of them we have. Okay, so we've got enough. So Astarion's going to drink that one. Karlach going to shapeshift. Unequip, re-equip. And put both of those back on. Okay, so now our inventories are pretty cleaned out. We're going to go sell the last of the items that we have.
Have I been this way before? Something's on my mind.
Easier to don some armor than learn to swing a sword.
So let's clean
If you
these
can manage
out
the extra
real
weight,
quick.
that is.
$29. Anything we want from him? No, there's not going to be. So let's take out that's close enough. Go here and sell the rest.
Something caught your eye then? Careful. Most of my wares can take an eye right out.
Okay, we don't need the heart-shaped pin anymore. And I think that's it. Let's see if she has anything here. Dragon slaying. I'll take those two. I think I've got enough arrows of many targets.
My weapons won't be beat.
Okay. So that should be it. Oh, I didn't sell the ritual pouch, but I don't care. Just drop it on the ground. So I've got the Orphic hammer. I've got all 3 nether stones here.
What's next?
I don't need the explorer's ring. Okay, all that's good. Web grenade can go in here. He's still carrying the Rite of Timeless Body, which I'll just send to camp. Those go here. Okay, so we still has the Resonant Stone for now. And Karlach is good too. So, gear check. Okay. Amulet of Devout, Ring of Protection.
Watch your back.
The Soul Set. Okay. Yes. We are...
Let's move.
Good. So now we're going to go back to camp. And with the remainder of our carry weight, we're going to stock up on some things. So 26, that's going to overload me, but I might be able to... Did that get rid of it? Yes. Okay. So I can get 2 on her. Can I get 1 more? I can. Okay. So how many do I have? I have 1, 2, 3. I have 11 of these. Let's see if I have the room powder vial. I don't think I do. I don't. It's normally down here somewhere. So yeah, I don't have it. Okay. That would have been the room powder vial. If you manage to get it, is a small explosive. It's powerful, but it doesn't weigh very much, so it's a good thing to stack into somebody who's got a little bit left, like Shadowheart. But for now, we are good. Now I could up this a little bit by having her equip the Club of Hill Giant Strength and carry it around, but I'd prefer to have the darkness available to me here more than I will the carry weight of the additional smoke powder barrels. So, we are ready to go, and again, we have not used the Drake Throat Glaive. So, we're going to do one more thing, and that's because I forgot to do this before I went to Raphael. This isn't going to last very long, but we might as well get it. I forgot to grab this buff before I went into the Raphael fight. And that's with the offerings chest here at the Water Queen's house. Now how this works is that anybody can get this buff one time, and it lasts until long rest. I'm just going to split off 1 gold piece for Shadowheart, Astarion, and Karlach. I cannot get this buff because I already have Sweetstone features.
What am I to do?
If you drop anything in this, even 1 gold, when you close it, you get the Bless spell. And that lasts until your long rest.
Touch me.
One-time use only, and I meant to do this. Oh, Karlach must be stuck on that stupid cart again. Ah. Not gonna say it.
Uh-huh.
Not gonna say it.
Yoink!
Okay, so now everybody has a 1d4 bonus to attack rolls and saving throws.
Let's get going.
Until their next long rest. Now, you can't get all of these offerings back. If you go into the chest upstairs and loot it, you can get all of that stuff back by stealing from them. So now we're going to go to the Morphic pool dock. And this is my absolute last chance here. Nope. I've got 2. I'm going to take some gold along with me because there is going to be another opportunity to purchase some stuff, and I might be able to pick up a couple more of them. And I got plenty. And I think I have 1 left. I do, just as a backup. Orphic Hammer, all 3 nether stones. I think we're good. Let me just check my notes. Okay. So the game's going to warn you here. That there is no turning back here. You will no longer have access to your camp or any of the items stored there. New players will not be able to join your party. So this is the absolute point of no return here in the game. So make sure you have everything that you want before you get here, because you're not going to have access to your camp chest anymore. I wish that they would add a camp chest into a specific location later on in this part, but Larian hasn't listened to any of the feedback on that. So this is the point of no return. So everything you have, you better be carrying it with you at this point.
Pristine darkness in every direction. Silence, but for the gentle, rhythmic slap of water on rock as your vessel cuts through.
Swimming in armor, that's quite a feat.
An overwhelming force pushes into your mind. The brain. It is here.
Okay, and now we're here in the Morphic pool.
It's infused with magic. The brain is here.
And you can see we are red bordered. We cannot fast travel out of here. We are stuck in this location. Okay, there are some more fire wine barrels that you can pick up here. A little searching that you can do as well. We'll pick up the gold here. We're not going to pick up other things here. But there's an inventory report. You learn that there was some smuggling going on down here. We will take the potions of extreme healing. And there's an Intellect Devourer down here.
Preparing. Calculating. Evolving.
Okay, none of these headless corpses are going to have anything.
Stronger than before.
It's getting stronger.
So curious.
Okay, there's some crafting ingredients, some more gold. We are going to take the Alchemist's Fire. We don't need any of the crafting ingredients and empty chests. You always search empty chests. Come on. Okay, we have two ways that we can head around here. This bottom way and this upper way. We're gonna go up first. Okay, we have another heavy chest over here.
Inside?
Then we get to this area. I'm gonna split my group, fly over, and cast Speak with the Dead on the Stelliander.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Sore brain in water, water discolored, salt, chaos, panic, separated, hid, bound by monsters, innocents, colleagues, transformed, corrupted, brains everywhere, swarming, overwhelmed, working job with sister, interrupted, lost everything. Heard screams, other side of cave, must find her. Take Bear, Eddie, Lucky, Charm with us. Every job.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
So these are the smugglers that were here and got ambushed by the Intellect Devourers, and there's a teddy bear here. So we'll pick it up. And we'll head back out here, and these Intellect Devourers are going to take off. Okay, now here I'm going to...
Controlled.
I'm going to move everybody up here a little bit, and I'm going to put the group in hiding. I'm going to break it, and I'm going to split Astarion off.
One step at a time.
And actually, before I do that, since I know what's here...
I can't afford to fail. Unseen as I was taught.
This way.
And we were successful on the perception check. And that's going to trigger an ambush. Now we have, if you don't pass the perception check, you're going to be surprised on this ambush. So we have two different types of enemies here. The regular Intellect Devourers. Now they have a ranged attack, which is not listed in here, that causes psychic damage. Then we have the Intellect Gluttons. Now the Gluttons are fit to burst. So when it dies, it bursts in a Morphic brine explosion, which deals 8d6 acid damage and creates a caustic surface for 3 turns. So you kind of want to focus on them when you have them grouped up with other enemies here. I'm going to get a ranged attack, and I'm going to go with an arrow of many targets. It must not have triggered my arrow of many targets. So now I am invisible. I'm gonna move back. Use one of my bonus actions to hide. Okay, is he still up here? He is. So I went into turn-based mode. He's not up here. He's in the middle of jumping. I didn't know if I got him quick enough or not. Okay, so it dropped me back in it. He's still now available, which is good. I was waiting for the timer to run out, and they walked back up here and found me. Okay, and now I'm going to fly across the bridge here.
Throw. Break. Control.
So let's see if I have enough range here. I do. Okay, and I'm gonna move back a little ways. Use half of my movement, see if I can get in range here. Nope, I can't. So I'm just going to skip this turn. Okay, so this is why you save up all your arrows of many targets, right? Yeah, I can't use it on your second shot. Okay, and that's going to trigger the next portion of the ambush. Let's see if I can reach over there. I can.
Break them.
Let's see if I have... I can't use that without. Okay, so they're all just staying put. I've actually never seen them do this before. Even when I'm invisible, I've never seen them do this before. not necessarily arguing with it for now, but they're going to have to come up here and get closer to me. Because the paths are all going to be interrupted here. Okay, so now that I'm not invisible, hopefully they get closer. I'm gonna dash here, just to make sure they don't get within range with that ranged attack of theirs. Alright, so I should be okay to hit him from here. I can. I'd actually prefer not to kill him, but I don't think I have a choice here. That's going to make me invisible again. Did that not trigger? That must have not triggered my arrow of many targets for some reason. Dash. And fly back and let them get closer to me here. Okay, should be able to hit all of them. Want to get a kill on the first arrow. Okay, and we get the chain reaction kills. Got another chain reaction kill. Okay, just the 2 more and we're done. I wonder why it's not applying sneak attack damage there either. Okay, so a bit too far.
These creatures were not themselves.
And now I'm gonna cast a firebolt down on the caustic brine and burn it up.
Watch the shadows.
I don't want my characters walking through that.
Let's keep to the shadows.
Okay, we'll group everybody up and bring everybody in.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more
So now a
interesting
couple more
times.
things to do in here.
Moving in.
So you can go up and look around a little bit. You're not going to find much of anything. This path here is where Listelia's dead body is. You can fly across this to get over to it from this way. It doesn't stop the ambush though. And then here, you want to stop, because you look at your minimap, there's a path there, but there's no path here. But when you look at it, there's stones here. Now the problem with these stones, you need to do at least 22 damage to be able to damage it. And they're immune to slashing, resistant to piercing. It doesn't show it here. It's also immune to bludgeoning damage. The one thing it's not immune to is force damage though.
Seems like the best way.
Okay, I'm going to split my group. When you come in here, across the other side, you have a chest. Now, it's rather anticlimactic, honestly, for being where it is. There's nothing in here. There's some alcohol, and then there's a couple of scrolls, and they're fairly meh for being hidden over here, but we'll let you know that it's here. But now let's continue on to the other side of the bridge. Again, there's some more barrels that you can search and that sort of stuff. Over here on this side, we have a locked door.
Well, hello. A crooked touch.
All right. What now?
And in here, we have a body. And this is her sister. You open up her inventory, and you put the teddy bear in there, you're going to get a piece of dialogue from one of your companions.
Next life. Hope there is a next life.
And that's it.
I didn't deserve this. No one does. Yet another reason to kill the brain.
Okay, so you're not going to get anything else. No rewards or anything like that for it. It's just a piece of story that's left in there. And now we're going to finish off today with a cutscene.
Transform. My head is pounding. Execute.
Deathly silence. The air is stale and putrid.
It's close. Have the stones ready.
Your blood slows. Your senses strung so tight they could snap in an instant.
You think you know why you are here? You think you can atone for giving me my power, child of Bhaal? By destroying me with the nether stones? You are wrong.
It's messing with your mind. Don't listen to it. Use the stones.
Okay, now these checks here, there are going to be 4 of them, I think. It does not matter if you pass these or not, so do not waste any inspirations trying to pass these first few. So I think my best one here is the Constitution saving throw. You see, it's a DC of 20 here. Okay, I passed it. It's not going to matter, though.
By eliminating Ketheric, Orin, and Gortash, you have simply unbound me. Exactly as I intended. The crown is now mine to command. Mine alone.
Don't listen to it. Focus on the crown.
Okay, so now and here's your next set of checks. Okay, so my best one is going to be from Charisma here. This gives me a +7 plus the guidance. Now again, these checks are just going to be getting harder. I think this one's DC 25. The game is intending you to fail these because it does not matter on these first 3 if you pass them or not. So I'm not going to spend an inspiration on this.
You placed the crown upon me in the depths of Moonrise Towers, and there I was born. The crown is not my weakness. It is what made me what I am. You brought the crown to me, Bhaal spawn, thinking the army I amassed with it would become yours. Your plan was devious, your cruelty unparalleled. I would have followed it were your mind not destroyed by your sister. But with you gone, the 3 pitiful chosen fought like children in your wake. I gave them power to harm one another with, while I profited my design. I used the Chosen, while they thought they used me. But the orders are now mine to give.
I won't allow it. Again, dominate it.
Okay, so here we go with these again. It's Constitution again. Now we're up to a DC 30, so the only way to pass this is with a nat 20.
When the parasite entered your ruined mind, you became a pawn in my design. Who do you think told the Chosen about the Astral Prism? Who do you think planted the knowledge of Orpheus's power and the fear of what it could do? When the Chosen sent my thralls to retrieve the prism, who do you think let the Emperor slip its leash, knowing it would be the one to bring you to me?
Were you a part of its plan?
I only needed one Netherstone loosened from the Chosen's grasp to guarantee my freedom. You brought all 3 back to me. In doing so, you have liberated me. This was your role, and it is complete. Now you will witness the grand design.
We have to stop it! It's now or never!
Okay, and this is the final check. Okay, now it doesn't matter which of these you choose. The plus modifiers on this are absolutely and completely irrelevant. So I could choose I could choose intelligence. Doesn't matter what you use, because the DC on this is 99, which means the only way to pass it is to roll a nat 20. Now this one does have an impact. If you pass it, you're going to get the against all odds debuff on the Netherbrain in the final fight. And that means it's going to have 20% fewer hit points than it normally does. So depending upon how you played this, you're going to have the possibility of having another conversation where you need to pass a check. If you have not rescued, or if you do not plan on rescuing Orpheus, if you plan on siding with the Emperor, then I would save some inspirations here. Because there's a DC 30 check, I think, that you have to try and convince Kithrak Voss to not attack you and to lend you his aid when you get into the final fight. If you are, like we are, planning on rescuing Orpheus, then you don't have to do that. That check will be, there is no check there to make. So I can spend all of my inspirations here trying to roll a nat 20, which means I'm going to have 5 of them to do. Now, this does not mean it's 5 times 5%, so I get a 25% chance to roll. That's not how odds work when you're rolling this. I have a 5% chance here. I just have multiple chances to roll that 5% chance. Okay, well there's the nat 1. Does that mean we're going to roll a nat 20 to balance it out? Nope. That just means that we're going to have to fight the Netherbrain with full health, which we are planning to do anyway. Yes, Star, only a nat 20 will pass that.
This is not over. pulled you out just in time. The situation is worse than I thought. This is an Elder Brain, no longer. The magic of the crown has caused it to evolve. It has become something more. Another brain. I thought so too, but that was when I believed it was still an Elder Brain. It has been anticipating our every move from the start. I underestimated it. We will need to rethink our plan.
And that is where we are going to leave things for today. If we take a look at our quest journal, Open Your Scars is now complete. The Nether Brain hailed its old Kingmaker. I was the one who created it as part of being the Dark Urge. And now we need to confront the Elder Brain and find out what we're going to do about Orpheus. And we're going to deal with that next week. So, as always, thank you all for being here. And I thank you all for all the commentary and the support that y'all have given me throughout this channel. Because, as always, without your support, none of this would be possible. This is Commander Jorval saying, until next time, fare thee well.